cafe. Anyway.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
This is a joy to be with you. I missed a day. I did. Well, I'm not supposed to say that, huh? Okay, I pointed out my own incongruities.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to episode 2598. 2598 ain't that great. It's Mike Matthews, and I have to state that I sometimes get interrupted, and now I have to find a word that rhymes with interrupted, disrupted. Why am I trying to
Mike's Daily Podcast.
use my brain in such matters when I could use an AI program?
Mike's
What is a rhyme
Daily
for AI?
Podcast.
I could ask it.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is a rhyme? Oh, it's not. The problem is, it's figuring out how to turn on the microphone to record your voice. Or you could type it if you're into typing with your thumbs. But then I got the big fat thumbs. So no thank you. What is a rhyme for the word interrupted? I guess I could also ask it, what's
Searching for rhyme for the word interrupted.
not synonym. Let's see what it says.
There are a few words that rhyme with interrupted, depending on how strict you are with the rhyme scheme. According to And, some perfect rhymes are corrupted, disrupted, and erupted. Some near rhymes are encrusted, thudded, and underfunded.
What?
Some words that almost rhyme are abducted, deducted, and obstructed. I hope this helps you with your poetry or songwriting.
No, you're stupid. Let me tell her that. You're stupid. Let's see what she says. Oh, it said, oh, I'm sorry.
And here's today's podcast.
I'm sorry,
picture.
but I prefer not to continue this conversation. I'm
What?
still learning, so I appreciate your understanding and patience.
Wow. Put me in my place. The podcast picture today is of a picture I took yesterday as I was going on a lovely walk in Podcaster Valley, where we are today. Cafe, anyway. The last place on earth. And yes, these people are real, unlike AI, which is fake. Wait a minute. Maybe I had that switched around or mixed up. A lot of stuff that AI does is fake. But AI is a real thing, and you better deal with it and understand it. Although the late, great Basil the Boxer probably wouldn't like AI. No. He'd be like, hey, I don't like it. That's what he would say. Basil, you say such funny things. The late, great Basil the Boxer. Hey, Rocky the cat was really bugging me as I was trying to write a nice thing in the anniversary card that I was giving to my lovely lady friend. Yes, we met 5 years ago. Thanks to that wonderful, lovely being with the bark that you just heard. Yes. So he, as I was walking him in Podcaster Valley, I ran into my lovely lady friend who was with a friend. And they're both, oh, this dog is so beautiful and wonderful. And then that's when she and I started to talk. And the door was open. And people sounded so creepy. That's where we met each other and dialogue began. And here we are today, still together. That's great. If you're listening on the 27th, well, technically, I guess it is the 27th today. If you're listening to this after the fact, then let me tell you that you missed National Take Our Daughters and Sons to Work Day. This day did not exist when I was a kid, but I know a lot of people do it. Bring their daughters and kids, their sons. You know, I remember the reason why I would go with my mom to work is because she couldn't find anyone to watch me. And I was like, hey, just kind of lay low. Don't make a lot of noise so the boss doesn't know. But the boss was actually really cool, so he and I got along great. And he put me to work. He was an artist that made sculptures. He mass-produced sculptures. So he'd be, hey, Mike, why don't you go help the helpers in the back put these things together? So the nice guys in the back would tell me how to do certain things and not, whatever you do, don't put your hand in the acid. Yes, they had big, huge containers of acid because they had to use it in this etching process to make these sculptures. Wall art. If you ever watched any kind of retro mid-century type show like Mad Men, there's often wall art on the wall. Or perhaps if your great-grandmother's still alive, there's wall art on her wall probably. And that's what he made, was that kind of art. So I would help in the creation of that, sort of. And then I used to love the styrofoam, the stuff that when you're packing something, the little styrofoam confetti, whatever they call it, the noodles, the thing. Oh, I thought that was the greatest thing. And they had a conveyor belt that wasn't mechanical, it just was a bunch of rollers, but you could get on a piece of cardboard and slide down it like a bobsled. Oh, so in honor of my mom, and it is coming up on Mother's Day, my late mom, one of the things she and I used to love to do was eat prime rib. And there's a place in Florida called Martin's. It's near Daytona Beach. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. So, and in honor of what I just did, tell a story, it is National Tell a Story Day. So, hopefully. And what's National Poem in Your Pocket Day? That's an interesting concept, to have a poem in your pocket. If you don't like it, you shouldn't knock it. Microsoft, I don't know if you know this or not, and I only know this because I produce the business podcast for Rob Black and Your Money. And Rob Black wrote this, and apparently it is earnings season. So all these big companies are announcing how much money they made, how they're doing, how much they earned. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley. Anyway. The last place on earth. Magnification. So stocks had a little bit of help, led by the NASDAQ, as investors started to digest the big tech earnings bonanza that kicked off this week. Yes, apparently this was the cause of the bonanza. Microsoft and Alphabet. I just used a little bit of Microsoft's technology there with the ChatGPT and Bing, and you get points when you use Bing. So that's why I like it. I know it takes forever to get the points. So that's my slug, but my plug is that it exists. Tech giants Microsoft and Alphabet both reported better than expected earnings and revenue for the most recent quarter, and they both announced AI in the most recent quarter. Microsoft rallied with more than 7%, with growing strength in its AI and cloud businesses. Yes, they have cloud businesses. Perhaps your business works with their cloud business arm and pay money, big bucks for it. Gold is doing well, which I have heard after working at a business talk station for almost 8 years now. I have found that when gold goes up, that's not a good sign. That means everything else is falling apart and people are rushing for the essence, for the real thing, the stuff that the prospector up in the mountains went and got and pulled out of the ground. And look at what I got. They found gold in them hills. Sorry, that's the only character voice I will do on today's podcast. What took over me? So gold edged back above $2,000 an ounce. Yes, an ounce, tiny little ounce worth $2,000. As the U.S. debt ceiling debacle continues, and there's a lot of worry about the U.S. debt ceiling, about raising it, and in regional bank issues. There was, is it First Bank that had all the issues this week? First Republic, I think, is what had been having issues. Yes, and that coupled with our other bank issues we had earlier this year with the Silicon Valley Bank, the First Republic Bank. And Barbie, you know how they have every year they try and come out with something like more realistic Barbie, because if Barbie was real, it'd be like this weird alien creature that'd be 8 feet tall. So they tried to be more natural Barbie. And then there was, you know, instead of it always being white blonde haired Barbie, they had other types of human being looks, other colors, representing other backgrounds. And that's wonderful, because Barbie seems to be a bellwether, a harbinger of where our culture is going. I don't know. I made all that up. But Barbie released a new doll with Down syndrome. Because they're releasing a new lineup of inclusive figures. Barbie's fashionista lineup have included a doll with hearing aids and a doll who comes with a wheelchair and ramp. Now, to those of us who are over 50 and over the hill, or whatever you want to say, some of that might sound, oh, what a shock. But the fact of the matter is, these kids got to know about the real world. And people got all kinds of, you know, it's not just, there's blonde, tall Barbie and blonde, tall Ken. There's all types of people to make this world go around. I'm certainly not blonde. I'm kind of tall, but I'm not that tall. And yeah, my name's not Ken, so not to bash anybody named Ken.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated.
It's Mike. That's why the name of the show is Mike's Daily Podcast. I feel as if I hit an Eddy here, sort of stalled. So let's move forward. One other thing. Meta's doing really well. Meta had first quarter earnings. Oh, they had first quarter earnings after the bell, and Mark Zuckerberg made a lot of money, and he's touted 2023 as the year of efficiency as the company deals with numerous challenges to its business. They let lots and lots of people go, as you know. Election fundraising season is officially on. Yes, we've just moved into that.
We will travel into the incredible universe.
Big donors in the business world started rallying around President Joe Biden soon after he announced that he's running for re-election next year. He announced this week. We all knew it was coming. This is going to be a gigantic year of fundraising, likely going to smash the numbers that happened in 2020 for that presidential campaign. Biden raised, let's see how much he raised. My computer may or may not have crashed just now, so it may take a second for me to find out how much he raised, but let me just tell you that Spotify is not going to raise their rates. That was another story I may or may not have said already on my podcast, but it got deleted because the dang thing froze on me. Frozen. Let it go. Let's see. He raised a bit more than $1 billion, while Trump brought in $740 million. And Biden's campaign raised over $400 million from donors that gave under $200 during his last run for president. George Soros donated over $178 million during the 2022 midterm elections toward Democrats running up and down the ballot. So that's the one that the Republicans hate, George Soros. But the big winners in the election cycle will be local TV stations. They make a bunch of money from it. Also social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I know YouTube shows a lot of ads. I don't think radio makes as much money as they used to. But it is a big job on the back end in radio because of all the FCC regulations. You have to file a bunch of paperwork once somebody spends money on an ad, on a political ad. Look who's outside a cafe anyway, where it's rather warm right now. Hello, Mike, it's Madame Rootabega. Oh, I'm drinking some water. Do you like water?
Yes.
Are you staying hydrated?
Yes.
Did you enjoy the hot weather today?
No.
Yeah, it is. In April? Come on, this hot? No. No, thank you in Podcastro Valley.
Michael Masters, it's wonderful talking to you and hearing all of this news.
Oh, thank you. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the Bear King attendant.
And it's Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we wanted to tell you that this is very informative stuff about the business world.
Yeah, business. Do you know that?
Excellent. You know, you guys, I hope you look so wonderful wearing your tank tops and your shorts. You look very comfortable in the hot weather.
Yeah, and I got the little boot in the parking lot there. I got the boot. It's really, really cold in there. I got the AC going full blast. It's like a refrigerator there.
Yeah, a walk-in refrigerator. Do you know that?
And we got those little popsicles that you like, Mike, in the boot, in the parking lot there.
Yeah, parking lot booth, the popsicles. Do you know that?
Thanks, guys. Wow. We spent hours rehearsing that, and I think it came out great. Next show, it's going to be the wonderful Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the engineer. Chime in about anything we covered today. You can call me at 510-228-4640 and more ways to reach me. It's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com.
Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye.